But the reality is here, what we're having right now, this is an end of a relationship, right? In terms of LeBron James and the Lakers. Now, whether it comes at the end of this season, if LeBron James decides as a free agent to sign somewhere else, or if he decides to retire, or he decides to come back for one more year and, decide that he wants to retire as a Laker. Like, the end is near with this relationship, either however you want to slice it.
The Lakers are officially done with LeBron James. After 7 years of circus acts, tantrums, and manufactured drama, the relationship is ending. NBA insider Jake Fisher just confirmed what everyone knew was coming. The divorce happens in June. Jeanie Buss is tired of his ego, tired of his ungratefulness, and tired of being held hostage by a 41-year-old stat patter who drafted his non-NBA son just for publicity. Was the 2020 bubble championship worth 7 years of LeBron's chaos? Or did the Lakers waste their time dealing with the most entitled player in NBA history?
I've been on the record, I thought he should have never left Cleveland. But this is his last year with the Lakers. The Lakers pretty much this is it.
LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers are getting divorced. It's officially happening. NBA insider Jake Fisher reported on a live stream that the Lakers are ready to move on from LeBron James, and I think LeBron is ready to move on from the Lakers as well. The divorce happens in June. After 7+ years of drama, ego, and manufactured narratives, the Lakers are finally cutting ties with the player who was supposed to save their franchise, but instead turned them into a reality TV show.
This is the shit that makes me fucking lose it with LeBron. You got JJ Redick trying to talk to the team, right? Where is LeBron? Anybody see LeBron? He's over there pouting like a little bitch.
They're tired of catering to his every demand while he publicly disrespects them and then pretends he doesn't care what anyone thinks. The relationship between LeBron and Jeanie Buss reportedly soured over the last few years. According to reports, Buss grew tired of LeBron's outsized ego and didn't appreciate being viewed as if LeBron was the savior of the franchise.
Great piece by Baxter Holmes, and the piece is not about LeBron. The piece is about the Buss family, and everyone should read it. It's a lot of work he put into it. But the section on Jeanie and LeBron starts with this, and this is where I just want to focus for a moment. She didn't like that James was considered a savior for a floundering franchise when he arrived in 2018, and that it was he who chose the Lakers rather than the team's leadership receiving praise for landing him.
That's putting it mildly. LeBron has treated the Lakers like they should be grateful he even showed up, despite the fact that the organization gave him everything he wanted, including drafting his son who had no business being in the NBA. Let's talk about that Bronny situation because that was apparently the breaking point. The Lakers used the 55th pick to draft Bronny James, LeBron's son, who by all objective measures was not an NBA caliber player. They did it to appease LeBron, to give him his father-son moment on an NBA court, to keep him happy. And how did LeBron respond when reports came out that Jeanie Buss felt he was ungrateful? He said, "I don't care about articles. I don't care how somebody feels about me. I'm 41 years old and I watch golf every day."
Quite frankly, I don't really care about articles. I really don't. I don't care about stories. I don't care about podcasts and all that type of shit. It don't bother me. I'm 41 years old and I watch golf every day. I don't care about an article. I don't care how somebody feel about me. If you know me personally and then you know what I'm about. Like, come on, guys, don't make this more than what it is. I don't care.
That response tells you everything you need to know about LeBron's attitude. The Lakers give him exactly what he wants, draft his son as a favor, and when ownership expresses frustration that he's not appreciative, his response is essentially, "I don't care what you think." That's peak entitlement.
I remember what was LeBron 20 or 21 when I did the Father of Time commercial thing. I'm in a battle with him, and I would like to say that I'm kicking his ass in the back nine.
Thanks, Elder.
Appreciate it.
That's a player who believes the organization exists to serve him, not the other way around. And apparently, that was the final straw for the Lakers.
At some point, you got to turn the team over to Luka and Austin. And that's the only way you can start, because you can't be paying him $50 million a year to be the third best player on the team.
Fisher reported that the Lakers will be looking to build around Luka Doncic and Austin Reaves after moving on from LeBron this season. That's significant because it shows the Lakers have already identified their future, and LeBron isn't part of it. They're not trying to convince him to stay. They're not negotiating an extension. They're planning for life after LeBron, and that planning is well underway. LeBron signed with the Lakers in 2018 after leaving Cleveland for the second time. During his 7+ years in Los Angeles, he averaged 26.3 points, 8 assists, and 7.8 rebounds. Those are solid numbers, but they're also empty calories. He's been stat padding on mediocre teams while the Lakers missed the playoffs or got bounced early. The one championship they won was the 2020 Bubble Championship, which half the basketball world doesn't even count because of the circumstances. Let's address that Bubble Championship because Lakers fans need to ask themselves, was it worth it? Was one questionable championship during a pandemic worth 7 years of drama, dysfunction, and dealing with LeBron's ego? The Lakers became a laughingstock. They became known as the team that couldn't say no to LeBron, the team that let him run the organization, the team that drafted his unqualified son just to keep him happy. Is that worth one bubble ring? The relationship between LeBron and the Lakers represents what's happening between LeBron and the entire basketball world. People are tired of him, not just haters who never liked him. Regular fans who gave him the benefit of the doubt for years are exhausted. They're tired of the flopping. They're tired of the whining. They're tired of the passive-aggressive comments. They're tired of the manufactured narratives. They're tired of being told he's the GOAT when anyone with eyes can see he's not.
LeBron should have retired after 2016. That should have been his last season. If he'd walked away after the Cleveland championship, he could have avoided a lot of the damage to his reputation. The last thing people would remember is the comeback against the Warriors. And while that was overhyped, the narrative would have stuck. But LeBron couldn't quit. He lives for the attention, the praise, the power. So he kept playing, kept demanding control, kept forcing franchises to cater to him. And in the process, he exposed who he really is. This is what happens when you don't know when to quit. This is what happens when you abuse your power. This is what happens when you prioritize fame over craft. LeBron could have preserved his legacy by retiring when he was still competitive. Instead, he's playing at 41 years old on a mediocre Lakers team, stat padding in meaningless games, while everyone watches his decline in real time. It's embarrassing, and more importantly, it's making people reevaluate everything about his career. The Bronny situation was the breaking point for a lot of fans. That was the moment when even casual observers said, "Wait, this is too much." The Lakers using a draft pick on a player who wasn't qualified just so LeBron could have a publicity stunt crossed a line. It disrespected the game. It disrespected players who actually earned NBA opportunities. And it showed that LeBron cares more about his personal legacy and family narrative than about winning or respecting the sport. Since the Bronny draft, it's been downhill for LeBron's public perception. People see through it now. The mainstream media still tries to prop him up. ESPN and their LeBron coverage is a joke at this point, but fans aren't buying it anymore. The comment sections, social media, fan discussions, they're all turning on him. The propaganda machine is still running, but it's not working like it used to. So where does LeBron go when he leaves the Lakers? The only place that makes sense is Cleveland. No other contending team would want him. He's 41 years old, doesn't play defense, requires the offense to run through him, and brings media circus drama wherever he goes. Why would any competitive team sign up for that? The only team that might take him is Cleveland, and that's purely for sentimental reasons and ticket sales, not because he makes them better. Here's the thing. I hope LeBron goes to a team that's currently good. I hope he goes to Cleveland, which has been competitive this season with Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. Because if he goes there and they get worse, it will be undeniable proof that LeBron is actually a negative presence. It will show that he doesn't make teams better, he makes them worse. The chemistry will deteriorate, the defense will suffer, the locker room will become toxic, and everyone will finally see what people have been saying for years. LeBron is overrated and actively hurts teams. The chemistry in Cleveland right now is good. They play hard, they play together, they compete.
If LeBron shows up and destroys that chemistry with his passive-aggressive leadership style, his refusal to play defense, and his need to dominate the ball, it will be obvious to everyone. There will be no more excuses about not having help or playing with bad teammates. It will just be clear evidence that LeBron James is a cancer. LeBron's lack of defense alone should disqualify him from serious teams. He hasn't played consistent defense in years. He takes plays off. He doesn't get back in transition. He complains to refs instead of getting back on defense. For a team trying to win a championship, that's unacceptable. But LeBron won't change because he thinks he's above accountability. He thinks his offensive stats excuse his defensive laziness. They don't. His passive-aggressive attitude is equally destructive. When things go wrong, he doesn't take responsibility. He throws teammates under the bus through vague social media posts and comments to reporters. He creates division in locker rooms by making it clear some players are in his circle and others aren't. That's toxic leadership, and it spreads through teams like poison. Cleveland's current culture would be destroyed if LeBron returns. The Lakers getting tired of LeBron mirrors what's happening across the NBA. Front offices are realizing he's more trouble than he's worth. The drama, the demands, the need to control everything, it's exhausting. The Lakers dealt with it for 7 years and finally said enough. Other teams are watching and learning. Nobody wants to repeat the Lakers' mistake of giving LeBron too much power and letting him run the organization.
LeBron's response to the Jeanie Buss story reveals everything about his mindset. I don't care about articles. I don't care how somebody feels about me. I'm 41 years old and I watch golf every day. That's someone completely disconnected from reality. The owner of the team is publicly frustrated with him, and his response is basically, I don't care. That attitude is why relationships deteriorate. That attitude is why the Lakers are done with him. He also runs podcasts, Mind the Game and Rich Paul's show, that are explicitly designed to control narratives about his career. But he wants everyone to believe he doesn't care what people think. If you don't care what people think, you don't need multiple podcasts rewriting history and defending your legacy. The contradiction is obvious, but LeBron expects everyone to ignore it. The days of everyone buying the LeBron propaganda are over. The mainstream media still tries. ESPN is basically LeBron's PR firm at this point. But fans aren't fooled anymore. They see the flopping. They see the stat padding. They see the lack of defense. They see the manufactured drama. They see a 40-year-old who should have retired years ago clinging to relevance through empty stats on bad teams. Lakers fans should be celebrating. After 7 years of dysfunction, after one questionable bubble championship, after drafting Bronny as a publicity stunt, after dealing with LeBron's ego and entitlement, they're finally free. They can build around Luka and Austin Reaves. They can establish an actual team culture instead of catering to one player's demands. They can be a normal franchise again, instead of the LeBron James show featuring the Los Angeles Lakers. The divorce happens in June. LeBron's final year with the Lakers will end, and he'll either sign somewhere else or retire. My guess is Cleveland takes him back purely for business reasons. Ticket sales, merchandise, nostalgia. But basketball-wise, it won't make sense. He'll hurt their team. He'll disrupt their chemistry. He'll make them worse while collecting a massive paycheck and padding his stats. This is LeBron's legacy. A player who could have been great, but couldn't get out of his own way. A player who prioritized fame over craft, control over winning, personal narratives over team success. A player who forced organizations to cater to him and then disrespected them when they did. A player who stayed too long, exposed his flaws, and destroyed his own reputation through entitlement and ego. The Lakers are done with LeBron, and increasingly so is the rest of the basketball world. The propaganda machine is still running, but it's out of gas. People see through it now. The flopping, the whining, the manufactured narratives, the stat padding, it's all been exposed. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. LeBron fanboys will keep defending him because they're emotionally invested in the narrative. They'll keep making excuses. They'll keep attacking anyone who criticizes him. They'll keep pretending he's the GOAT despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. But the rest of the world is moving on. The Lakers are moving on. And eventually, even the fanboys will have to face reality. The cheater doesn't get to exist in the same space as the greats. Bird, Magic, Russell, Kareem, Duncan, Kobe, Jordan. These players earned their legacies through excellence, integrity, and respect for the game. LeBron tried to manufacture his legacy through media manipulation, team hopping, and controlling narratives. It worked for a while, but the truth always comes out eventually. And the truth is, LeBron James is not in their class. Never was, and never will be. The Lakers are finally divorcing LeBron after 7 years of chaos, and it's long overdue. The relationship is over, the experiment failed, and everyone involved is ready to move on. If you enjoyed watching this disaster unfold, hit that like button and subscribe. Drop a comment predicting where LeBron goes next and how badly he ruins that team. Thanks for watching, and remember, cheaters never prosper.